Hi everybody, this is Derrah, who's a storyboard artist, and I'm your Jobs in Showbiz host, Olivia Gudaniec. Welcome, and welcome to you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm excellent. How's your day?
It's
or
cool.
Weekend?
Pretty good. Just cleaning up the house, trying to make it all look nice and...
Oh, looks great. You guys are going to get some really, really cool insight into the life of a storyboard artist. So you've done It, which is really popular right now, Game of Thrones, hello, 12 Monkeys, so many reputable shows. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been quite the experience the past couple of years.
I read that you also do graphic novels.
Yeah, that's correct.
Care to elaborate a little more on that?
Sure. Yeah, so me and my friend, we have our own kind of boutique publishing company. It's called Credible Threat Press, and we just do kind of little indie comic books, kind of the stuff that we want to see on the shelves that's not really there. Some of the things sell superheroes. We're trying to do more HBO series in comic book form, so that's kind of our business model.
That's amazing. I don't know anybody who actually does any comic books, graphic novels, so now I have a contact.
That's right on.
And you went to school and you got a bachelor's degree in fine arts, is that correct?
That's correct. Specifically, it was for classical animation filmmaking. So basically the old school, Disney animation, when they used to draw on pencil and they would flip the pages.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's the course.
And real hand painting the backgrounds and cell shading. It was the old school way of doing things. It translates to film so perfectly. You can do stick figures, storyboards, but if they're not telling a proper story, it doesn't really matter. It's just pretty pictures,
Brilliant.
Kind of always knew I was going to work in film for comic books. So
yeah, that's a good feeling to have.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's say you're on a show, let's go feature films. Are you on it and hired from the beginning to start sketching to the very end, or are you only brought in for the big complicated scenes?
It actually depends on the project. Generally they don't need storyboards. It depends. If something changes in a location, or if there's budget issue, they'll want to revise the scene, and I'll step in and I'll kind of help visualize it.
So when are storyboards useful or helpful?
So they're helpful for many different things. And the thing is, they're part of the art department technically, but really they kind of more exist in the writing, directing sphere of influence.
You're working so closely with them.
Exactly, yeah. And it's, once again, it's not really about the drawing, it's about you're doing a sequence of events, and it's kind of editing, and it's storytelling, and it's not really just about the drawing itself. There's many different ways to do storyboard. Drawing is the most popular way, but you can do it with CG, you can do it with photo collages.
Interesting. Have you done it in that aspect, or are you just focusing on that area of the drawing?
I'm pure, just old school. I draw with pencil and paper over there first, and then sometimes I'll scan it and then I'll clean it up on the computer, or I'll use an iPad to sketch, or I'll use just Photoshop to go but that's the nuclear option if it's something crazy, really high detail and rendering and edit. A very quick turnover, because it has to be done very fast,
right? Of course.
Yeah.
Do you think that at some point you're going to have to turn to CGI and doing that, and storyboards, the actual sketch will, I guess, go out of fashion, or some of the computers will take over in that sense, or
I think
some higher tech?
I could see it for certain productions or certain companies that are more interested in just getting a product quick. But if you're a purist, or if you're a really a film aficionado, as a company, right? Say you want to make a great film, as opposed to a marketing product, they want to do the old school storyboards, because it's kind of it's more organic, it's more authentic. It's certain directors shoot on film still, so I think they'll
it's
always
a preference, right?
Yeah, it'll always have its place. Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about money. Are your rates negotiable? Is there a flat rate? Are you part of a union?
So,
how would somebody who wants to get into this business know how to quote?
Well, generally what you would want to do is you'd either work as an independent corporation, so you'd get yourself incorporated and you would work that way, or you could just be a sole proprietor, so you're just an individual that they hire on and you just do a couple weeks here and there. And the rate is negotiable, but you definitely don't want to go too low, because it's I mean, like, they're paying for your experience and your knowledge as well as your talent
and your technology.
Exactly. And I mean, like, you know, the general turnaround is like a day to 3 days, 4 days. So you're really not asking for a lot. And sometimes the production will only need you for just those 3 or 4 days, and then that's it. And like, how else are you supposed to pay like next month, right?
No, of course.
Exactly.
And do your rates include like a set visit? Do you ever visit set?
Yeah,
is that mandatory?
It's kind of included in the package. It's like, because if you're going in for a meeting or if you're going on the set visit, that's considered your time, right? Like, that's part of the work. So,
and it's fun too, right? Seeing your
it's so fun.
seeing your products up on the board, right?
Exactly. All right, so this is a little sequence. This is like an early version. This is not exactly the same as what was broadcast, but this is from Game of Thrones, season 7, episode 2. Which was called Storyboard. So it's basically an animatic. So what I do is I take storyboards and I just put it on a timeline and I make it animated, basically. And it's kind of to show editing and the sequence of events. And, you know, they don't always follow it exactly, which they should. You know, they shouldn't do that either. The idea of it is just to kind of get a sense of like the rhythm and the shot duration, what you need, and also, you know, the director can look at this and be like, you know what, now that I've seen this, I have an even better idea. And then, you know, this is a good building process. So I really enjoy doing these. These cost extra, you know. This isn't just a regular rate. This is like double because it's editing, compositing, etc. And then I added like a film grain on it too, just to make it more filmy, and so that there's no dead pixels. And it's just for presentation and just to show like the department heads like, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do something else. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just making a cartoon, basically. Once again, these are like Photoshop painted. But I mean, this one I remember going really quickly. Like, I had a vision for it in my head, so I knew kind of all the major shots. I knew all the cuts. So drawing it didn't take too long. It was like 2 days, but intense work. And then this is like the rough stuff right here. This is all polished up later on.
You've entered some contests. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those and
Absolutely.
How that's motivated you to accomplish all that you have?
Yeah, well, so this is before I broke into film, like real film, I guess you would say. So right after I graduated school, I was contacted by like a writer, and I did these contests for Amazon Studios. It was right as Amazon Studios was just forming. They were just kind of getting their business model together. They had these contests for like best script and best test film. So I made 2 test films for Amazon Studios, and they both won. We did 2 consecutive ones, and they both won the grand prize, which is like a lot of money, substantial amount of money. But I didn't get the money, of course. The guy who hired me got to keep it all, but whatever, it was cool.
A valuable lesson.
Valuable lesson. So sign contracts, look at the fine print, make sure you're going to get your fair share.
Yeah, because it's your talent.
It's your talent, hard work, and just because you're hired to do a job, doesn't mean you shouldn't partake in some of the profits as well. That to make sure you have your contracts all organized.
Yeah, protect yourself, protect your talent.
Protect yourself.
Don't get taken advantage of.
Protect your neck.
Contact an entertainment lawyer if you just need a second opinion. Ask around. But if there was another job that you'd want to do on set that you haven't already done, what would it be and why?
Definitely cinematographer. I think that would be a good, or even editor, because like I love editing. I'm obsessed with editing. I don't know, but cinematography, because you're getting those beautiful shots and like the lighting, and you're doing the painterly aspect. There's like every role is really cool. I think every role, I think film is just phenomenal. I'm obsessed. I try to talk to everybody on set and learn every job. So, and every job is equally important in its own way. So
yeah, knowledge is power, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks, Michael. High five.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, awesome. This is great. So, good time.
See you guys next Tuesday.